You've tried every morning routine, every system, every app, and they all fail after 2 weeks. You're not broken. You've been taught the wrong version of discipline. Epictetus knew the real one: the morning routine, the productivity system, the app, the journal, the accountability partner. It works for about 2 weeks. Then you miss a day, then 2. Then you quietly abandon the whole thing and pretend it never happened. Motivation fails, willpower fails, and you're starting to wonder if you're just not built for discipline. You are. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who became the most disciplined mind in Rome, discovered the real version. And it starts with something nobody talks about. Here's the dirty truth about discipline. The modern version is designed to burn you out. Wake up at 4 a.m. Cold showers, no sugar, no rest. Grind every day. Crush it. And if you can't sustain that, if you're human, then you're weak. That version of discipline is performance art. It's designed for Instagram, not for real life. And the men who preach it either burn out behind closed doors or they're selling you something. The Stoics had a completely different relationship with discipline. They didn't see it as punishment. They didn't see it as forcing yourself to do things you hate. They saw it as alignment, training yourself to do the things that serve who you're becoming. Epictetus, who had no freedom, no wealth, no status, just his mind and his practice, understood discipline better than any influencer alive. Because for him, discipline wasn't a choice. It was survival. And what he built from that necessity became one of the most powerful frameworks for consistency ever created. Epictetus wrote, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Plain English. You don't build discipline by forcing behavior. You build it by deciding who you are first. The behavior follows the identity, not the other way around. This is where most men get it backwards. They start with the action. I'm going to run every morning. But they haven't changed the underlying identity. So when it gets hard, when it's cold and dark, and the bed is warm, they have no anchor. The behavior dissolves because there's nothing underneath it. Epictetus said, "Decide who you are first, not what you do, who you are." I'm a man who keeps his word. I am a man who shows up. I am a man who doesn't quit when it's uncomfortable. When that identity is solid, the behavior becomes obvious. You don't debate whether to run. Men who show up, show up. The decision was already made at the identity level. The habit that breaks this: write a single sentence that defines the man you're building yourself into. Tape it where you'll see it every morning. Not a goal, an identity statement. I am the man who does the hard thing first. Every decision this week, filter through that statement. Epictetus wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig." Plain English. You can't build discipline through dramatic gestures. You build it through boring, tiny, consistent actions that nobody will ever applaud. And that's exactly the point. Men love the idea of massive discipline. The 7 hard challenge, the complete life overhaul, the dramatic transformation. But Epictetus understood that discipline built on spectacle is fragile. Real discipline is built in the moments nobody sees. Making your bed when no one cares. Keeping a promise to yourself that no one will know you kept. Choosing the right thing when the wrong thing is easier and nobody's watching. The Stoics trained themselves on small things first. Epictetus would tell his students to practice with minor discomforts. A cold morning, a missed meal, a small inconvenience accepted without complaint. Not because those things mattered in themselves, but because they built the muscle. And once the muscle was strong in the small moments, it held in the big ones. This is why most discipline programs fail. They skip the foundation. They go straight to the dramatic and ignore the mundane. But the man who can keep a small promise to himself every day for a year is infinitely more disciplined than the man who does an extreme challenge for 30 days and then collapses. The habit that breaks this: choose one absurdly small daily practice and do it every day this month. Not a workout, something smaller. Make your bed. Drink a glass of water before anything else. Read 1 page. The point isn't the action. It's the proof to yourself that you can keep a promise to yourself, day after day after day. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Plain English. The Stoics didn't pretend discipline would feel good. They expected it to feel hard, and they prepared for the difficulty in advance. Expecting resistance removes its power. Here's where men sabotage themselves. They set up a discipline practice and expect it to flow. They expect to feel motivated. They expect the routine to become easy. And the first day it doesn't feel easy. The first day they don't want to do it. They interpret that as a sign that something's wrong, that the habit isn't right for them, that they should try something different. Nothing is wrong. Resistance is the whole point. Epictetus would say, "The moment you don't want to do the thing is the exact moment the discipline is working. That resistance is the weight. You don't go to the gym and get upset that the bar is heavy. The heaviness is the exercise." Marcus Aurelius started every morning by telling himself the day would be difficult. Not to be pessimistic, to be ready. When the difficulty arrived, it wasn't a surprise. It was the expected terrain. And because he expected it, it couldn't knock him off course. The habit that breaks this: every night, write down the one moment tomorrow where you're most likely to break your commitment. When my alarm goes off and I want to hit snooze. When I get home from work and want to skip the gym. When I open my phone and want to scroll instead of write. Plan your response in advance. Decide now what you'll do when the resistance hits. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, premeditation of obstacles. It's the difference between being ambushed and being prepared. Here's your discipline reset for the next 7 days. Step 1. Write your identity statement. 1 sentence. Who is the man you're building? Not what he achieves, who he is. I am a man who follows through. I am a man who does what he says. Whatever feels true for you. Step 2. Choose your anchor habit. 1 small, daily, non-negotiable action that proves the identity statement. It should take less than 5 minutes. It should be so simple that the only way to fail is to consciously choose not to do it. Step 3. Premeditate your resistance. Every night this week, identify the moment tomorrow where you're most likely to skip. Write down what you'll do instead. Plan it like you'd plan a battle, because it is one. Step 4. Track it. Not with an app, with a piece of paper on your wall. 1 check mark per day. 7 days, 7 marks. That visual streak becomes its own motivation. You stop wanting to break the chain. At the end of 7 days, you'll have proof. Not proof that you're disciplined, proof that you can be. And that proof is the foundation for everything else. Discipline isn't about willpower. It never was. Willpower is a battery. It drains every day, and runs out when you need it most. The Stoics didn't rely on willpower. They relied on identity, practice, and preparation. They built systems that didn't require them to feel like it. They showed up because of who they were, not how they felt. Epictetus had every excuse to give up. He was a slave. He was crippled. He owned nothing. And he built one of the most disciplined, purposeful lives in recorded history. Not through grind culture, not through punishment, through clarity about who he was and daily practice aligned with that clarity. You have more resources, more freedom, and more opportunity than Epictetus ever had. The only thing you're missing is the decision, not the decision to do more. The decision about who you are. Make that decision, and the discipline follows. If this helped you, hit subscribe and stay close. Drop a comment below. What hit hardest? I read every reply. We're building this together.